in that. And so, I was telling you before, in China, the government sits above capital.
Yes.
And so the economy works for the people. But in the United States, capital is above the government. And so the economy doesn't work for the people. It works for a handful of international globalist billionaires, which is why we have homelessness everywhere. We have the biggest prison population in the world. And, we still go bankrupt just to get educated. You get bankrupt when you get sick. And like I say is that we live in a surveillance state. And so we're like China, except we have more street crime and slower trains.
No. And we get lectured constantly in the most self-righteous way by the worst people. It's a hard jump for your average right-winger, me, for example, to accept the fact that corporations are even more malicious than government.
Way more.
I think I'm coming around to that just because the evidence is overwhelming, but I do think there's like a training that takes place where you just have someone point to Soviet Poland and you're like, that's the option to what we have. And you're like, I don't want that. I don't like potatoes. You know what I mean? Bad architecture, grim weather. But I kind of believe
that. You believe that that's the option?
That was the option.
Oh.
So either you have like Google runs everything and, they do it in Technicolor and it's like free and it's great, or the state runs everything and it's Soviet Poland. And so like, I do think the average right winger, or again, I'll speak for myself. It's like hard to accept that you want to live in a system where billionaires don't control everything. Like that's not good.
That's not good. That's look around.
You're right.
This is the system we're living in. And, corporations, there's no long-term planning, right? At least in China, they have long-term planning, right?
Yes.
Which is why they get to have flying cars and great infrastructure and beautiful bridges that make their own waterfalls and own rainbows, stuff like that. It's just amazing. And in here, because corporations only care about quarterly profits. So they don't care if the whole company crashes as long as they can show a profit in the quarter.
I think that's right.
And that's the problem. There's no long-term planning in America. And that's why, and, I also have a firm belief that, like in California, they spent $24 billion to try to fix homelessness, and none of it just got worse. And, I think you've talked about this, that it seems planned, because it probably is, that they want us to live in this kind of hellscape. So we beg for authoritarian solutions to these problems. And
that's right.
And that's what they're doing, right? So, it all started with 9/11. They had the Patriot Act already written before 9/11, right? So they as Edward Snowden revealed, that, they're collecting every text, every phone call, every email you make anyway. So we live in and then it's just getting worse. Flock cameras. It's like what you said to Kevin O'Leary. It's like they're there to help fight crime. Really? Crime rates going down, are they?
No.
No. So, this is what happens